Hi, everyone. Oh, just a minute. All right. No. Okay. Not sure, but can you all hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. We're going to work from here. Sorry about that complication. Um, Good to see you all in the space today. My name is Morgana Wilborn. I'm the program's assistant here at TACA. I am joined by the wonderful Ann Cogan, our wonderful programs manager. She will be on slides and on any information that I don't know.
Which is not much at all.
So we're here obviously for the TACA New Works Fund for this cycle. And we're gonna go through all of the things today, and hopefully I can answer any questions that you may have. Any questions that you may have. And all of this information will be online on taca-arts.org/newworks, where you'll find this recording as well as the guidelines and any other information, past recipients, all of that. We did have an agenda on here, but
Oh, we did.
yeah, not sure what happened, but we're gonna go through the history, we're gonna go through evaluation criteria, eligibility, as well as a demo session for you all. Okay. So for TACA New Works Fund 1.0, in its first 8 years, the fund focused solely on supporting new works of primarily performing art. We awarded 28 grants in total, 8 grants for new musical works, 5 for new dance works, 15 for new theater works, totaling $900,000 in funding. The New Works Fund was one of the programs we paused in 2020 due to the pandemic. And when we started to consider its potential return, we started to consider what kinds of new works we might want to support to help spur the changes we wanted to see in our community. So in our New Works Fund 2.0 in 2022, we supported 5 new works of performing art with that totaled in $125,000 in grants, 1 multidisciplinary, 1 dance, and 3 theater. Some of our recipients are in this space today. And it included Dallas Children's Theater for Life Doesn't Frighten Me, Dallas Black Dance Theater for Tabernacle, Arts Mission Oak Cliff for what is now known as Word Tree, Karamia Theater Company for Origenes Origins, and Soul Rep Theater Company for Aaron Malone's Turner piece, what is now known What Fits Inside a Human Heart. Now the TACA New Works Fund aims to stimulate and support the creation and presentation of brand new artistic works of literary, performing, and/or visual art by Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, BIPOC individuals, LGBTQ plus individuals, women, and intersections therein. We also wanted to broaden the fund into other ways, expanding the eligible artistic disciplines to include the works of literary, visual arts, not just performing, with our other funds, and also include specifically works in different stages of development, which we'll break down. Currently, requests can be between 10 and 50,000. So, fund eligibility. To be eligible to apply for funding, an organization must be a current grant recipient of any cycle of TACA's 2021 to 2023 Catalyst Grant Program. Joint applications between 2 or more organizations are acceptable. The one organization must assume primary financial and reporting responsibility for purposes of this grant. If the new work is a partnership collaboration with an organization outside of North Texas, the local organization must serve as the primary financial and reporting partner for the purposes of this grant. Additionally, we will also accept joint applications between 2 or more organizations. Know that one organization must be the primary applicant and assume all financial and reporting responsibility for this grant. And both organizations don't have to be local, but if there is a non-local collaborator, the local organization must be the primary applicant for the purposes of the grant. Project requirements. So as I mentioned before, new work projects can be works of literary, performing, or visual art, or multidisciplinary works. And works can be in any of the following stages, which we define in both the grant guidelines and the application. They can be a new idea, planned idea, in development, nearing completion or complete, a rework, revised piece of work. Selection of the correct stage is important because it changes the nature of the work samples you'll provide for the application. The culmination of the grant does not need to be final or fully completed work. We just ask for each phase that your new works project has some kind of public audience outcome, like a play reading, workshop, masterclass, stage reading, performance, exhibition. And that public audience outcome has to take place in Dallas County. Works which have been previously produced or performed before a paying audience are eligible only if the creators of the work intend to significantly refine or revise the work for performances for the audience in Dallas County. And such refinements and revisions must be clearly specified in the application. Completion must be within 2 years of the date that the initial funds are distributed. So that'll be up to December 31st, 2025. New works are processed. So applications are open now, and they'll be open until August 25th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. All application materials must be submitted into our TACA grants portal system, which will review where that's located by that time. Late applications are not accepted. I'm sorry, friends. I repeat, late applications are not accepted.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to talk more about the rest of this?
We could go into, stages of development. All right, so looking at the stages of development of the new work, you can start out with a planned idea. So the stage you select, as I mentioned, is important because of the work samples that you will turn in, and it dictates how the reviewers will evaluate the application. You want to refer to this chart when you select the stage of development of your new work and the work samples, which will go through those that are expected with any given stage. The stages contextualize the project and the detail you are able to provide for our reviewers, which helps make the process more equitable overall. And if you feel your project doesn't fit within these stages, just contact me or Ann and we'll talk it through. So you have your plan idea. So that means the new work has been outlined. You have a plan to implement the project, or it's in development. Work on this new work is underway, but much, either 50 or 75% of the artistic work remains. Or you're nearing completion or complete. The creative work for the new work is close to completion, 75% or more complete, but support is needed for presenting the completed work to an audience. Or you're in your rework, revised state, where the new work is in its original form, had already been presented, but the new work funds would fund a different iteration of the work with significant artistic changes. So let's look at what the work samples would look like. So for planned ideas, the work sample might include examples of your past work for any given applicant, or new work creators most similar to the proposed planned idea, anything that kind of resonates with what you're applying for. In development, the new work sample would convey the vision of the completed new work. So your examples might include rough drafts of scripts, compositions, or video from a rehearsal or reading. If it's nearing completion or complete, that sample would demonstrate the current state of the project. So your examples might include video from a rehearsal, current drafts of a script, composition, or photos. If you're doing a rework or revision, the work sample might include the most recent iteration of that new work. So in submitting all that information, here's what you need to know for evaluative criteria. The reviewers are responsible for evaluating applicants based on this criteria: artistic vision and integrity, which is 50 points, impact, 25 points, and feasibility. This program uses the Catalyst grants as an eligibility requirement because the intention is to really evaluate the project proposed from an artistic perspective, rather than evaluating the organization itself. So we're going to go in deeper into each criterion. So if we look at artistic vision and integrity, that means you have a clear articulation of the project, innovativeness and creativity of the proposed new work. There's quality, a track record and/or fit of the new work creators. There's relevance, fit of the proposed new work to the applicant organization's mission and primary artistic discipline. And if applicable, a detailed plan of collaboration and partnership. And we'll go into that when we talk about submission materials. As we look at impact, the reviewers will look at impact on the applicant organization, the impact on the new work creators, impact on the audience or community, and your success measurement. For feasibility, assessment of the applicant organization's ability to execute the new work project as described, including consideration of compensation of new work creators, project budget, new work stage of development, and likelihood of success. For application attachments, you're going to want to include these following things, and it also goes into detail on the new works guidelines. Your new work creator bio, so that'll be a document to provide a bio or resume of the artists involved in creating the new work. New work creator artist statement, so including document or video providing a statement of the artist involved in creating the work. You could talk about the work, the commitment to your organization, how you all might be positively affected by the new work, and also you could most likely talk about the impact on audiences as well. The new work samples, this can be a file or a link online, and you could provide no more than perhaps 3 work samples or links to work samples that reflect the stage of development of your project. You're going to want to also include your budget, a document that provides a detailed budget for the development and production of the new work, include both income and expenses, and information of evidence of collaborative partnership. So document to include signatures providing a signed statement from collaborating organizations or with your artists involved in creating the work, indicating their role in the partnership and commitment to the project. Staying on here real quick, and the application requests detailed information about the new work, also, but are not limited to description of the potential impact of this new work that it may have. Just want to go over the impact information. The potential impact may have on the organization, the creators, the audience. You can go over metrics for success, describe the relevance of the new work to the applicant's mission, artistic discipline, and also more detailed information about the collaborative partners. So really, I reiterated on that so you can really go into detail in the narrative and really shed a light on your artist, the impact, the why, how it connects to your mission in a beautiful and clear way for your reviewers. Continuing on in our process flow. So after you do all of that, it goes to our national jury, and we have a really cool jury that we're getting together from folks all across the nation. We're talking artists, we're talking org leaders. So all applications are reviewed by a multidisciplinary jury of local and national artists and arts experts. Reviewers are selected based on their knowledge of genres and forms represented in the applicant pool and represent a diversity of experience and identity. The jury reviews applications from a large window from August 28th, well, not real large, August 28th to September 20th, after which the finalists, the applicants are determined by the reviewers through a detailed scoring process. After that scoring process, finalists are identified and notified by September 27th. And remember, you can find all these dates online as well. And then after that, we will hold jury finalist interviews during that week of October 9th through the 13th. All finalist applicants are interviewed by reviewers to provide additional information about the new work and enable funding recommendations. Reviewer recommendations are reviewed by the TACA staff and then shared with the TACA Board of Directors, who has the final authority to approve jury's recommendations and award grants. So just in case, you're not, Morgana, why? We go through a process, everybody. These interviews will likely take place via Zoom. So we encourage everyone who has connections, we encourage finalists to include their new work creators or other artistic leadership on the project. And sometimes we know all of those folks are not local. So given that, we think digital creates more equitable experience for all finalists. And we'll also make sure to create a compassionate and equitable and respectful space during those conversations. If we have our jury present, any TACA leaders, as well as the space where your creators are in. So I just want to reiterate that. And then we have notification. Recipients are notified around the week of October 27th after we go through funding recommendations with our board. But we will have the organizations will be notified, and we'll have a beautiful formal announcement and reception in November. So just so you can keep that, especially for those who have specific plans that, are coming up around those dates. Any questions before we go into our demo walkthrough? What I'm going to do, so we won't have to go totally back in, is just can we go to the dates really quick? And then Megan, I'm going to answer your question. If you just go forward past the demo.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. I don't want you to have to come back to
No,
this.
it's fine.
So just as a reiteration, your online application submission deadline is August 25th. Remember, no late apps, my friends. You got to look till 11:59. And then the review period is August 28th through September 20th. Finalist applicants will be determined and notified around that September 27th. We'll keep you updated. Finalist interviews are the week of October 9th, and grantees are announced with the reception on November 7th, so that will be public. And then you will have, if you have any questions, all of this information is online. You can contact me, morgana.wilborn@taca-arts.org, and Kobe@taca-arts.org. I'll be your main contact, but we're both here to serve you. We're going to go into demo, but I am going to go into quiet mode to create space for you all to ask questions. Megan?
Yes, hi. I had
Yeah.
a quick question again about the creator artist statement. Who has to specifically write that? And can you go over again what's needed in that statement, please?
Yeah, so that will, I mean, whoever is, whether it's a mix of the creators themselves, like any choreographers, playwrights, artists, and it might be your artistic team as well, that would provide that information. So in that, sorry, I want to make sure I go back and.
Do you want me to go back through the slides?
Yeah, that would be great, on application attachments. And that can be in document or video, but you want all of the artistic team, so to speak, to have information on its connection to the mission, commitment to the organization, how any given stakeholder may be positively impacted by the new work, information on the new work itself. All of that can go into that artistic statement.
And Kristen had a question in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then Kristen, you said as long as the work premieres after November 7th, it's okay. Our work would premiere November 10th, which is pretty close. Yeah. Okay, I had to look at Anne. I'm a newbie.
No,
But
but this is also something that we didn't actually have
Yeah.
a formal policy. We don't really have a formal policy
Policy
around
on
it. We
that.
had a question around it a couple months ago too. But yeah, as long as it's after the announcement,
yeah, we should be good.
it's eligible.
Yeah. Any other questions from the collective? Okay.
All right, I'm gonna share my application window. All right, y'all. Okay, so this is Anne, by the way. Hello, everybody. It's great to have you all here. I'm just gonna do a really quick walkthrough on the application site and what it looks like to go through the New Works application. You'll see I have many applications for my test organization in very different stages of development. But when we go up here into the top right corner to the programs button, it will take you to a list of what you're eligible for in our programs. And if your organization has, I think actually everybody will see the TACA New Works Fund grants. So you can just hit this more button and you'll get this window with the overview of the program. And then most importantly for you, this apply button. That's all you need to do to create the new application. You hit that, and then you'll be able to see all of our steps. First of which is verifying your 501c3 status. All you need to do is enter your EIN. We're set up to use the IRS 79 list. I can't remember the exact number, but because your organizations have all gone through the Catalyst process, I don't think this will be a problem. You'll just have to set that up. And then the eligibility is the bigger question. That's what you really need to make sure that you mark to see the rest of the application. So here we can see on the left hand side of the screen, all of the additional questions that now come up, or the application sections. So a lot of this is very familiar to you. The organization section, organization details section has all of the basics, like all of our other applications. I believe this will get primarily filled out if you have anything that you've entered before. So we have our demographic collection for board and staff on here as well, always really helpful for us. I'm going to quickly scroll back up to the top. You can see new work basic information. This is truly the basics that we need to know. If you have a title, what stage the application is in, select that. As Morgana said earlier, the date of the public outcome This does not have to be a final, fully produced program if your timeline is further out, but we need some sort of public, whatever that public outcome that you identify, this is where you put the date in. You will put a description of what the public outcome is a little bit later. So this is your quick summary of the project, a list of the people involved, the creators involved, your amount requested, project budget, some other questions in here, and then here's that optional description of your collaborative partners. So this is all of the nuts and bolts. And then we go to the new work detailed information. So again, you can see here the project description, audience outcome, organizational relevance, all of these questions that Morgana was talking about earlier and the topics that we suggest you hit in the application would go into these boxes somewhere, right? See, we move into organizational impact, creator impact, audience, so you can segment out how you want to talk about all of that. And then this is a really, this vision of success is really important for us to hear because our vision of success may not be exactly what yours are. So yours are much more important than ours. Let's say that. Ours don't really matter. We just need to understand what yours are, what success looks like for you. And that's really also an opportunity to talk about your goals for this project. If we move to the creator bio, again, this is just an upload. So you can see here accepted formats, PDF or a doc. Same thing with the artist statement. It's just an upload or a video link. If you are linking to a video, what we've found, this is just a really random thing. YouTube, if you're sharing the video, it gives you the short link. For some reason, it doesn't get accepted here. So you just go up to your browser address bar and copy and paste what you pull the full address from there and it'll work. So that is for that. And that is also very relevant for your new work samples because many of you will probably submit some form of video. So please do use the full link rather than the shortened one because I don't know why SurveyMonkey Apply does not like those. So you'll be able to submit some samples here. And then you mark as complete. And you'll see again on the left-hand side, oh, actually there's some more. Sorry, I forgot because I'm on my little laptop screen and I don't see everything. So I'm gonna continue on. The project budget is also a submission. You can submit an Excel or a PDF of your Excel. Spreadsheets, we all love them. And then if you have a partnership where you're commissioning this project with other organizations, this is where you would include what Morgana said earlier, that statement of partnership and how you're lining it all out so that we can see that you've actually talked through those details. And please note, this is not about the partnership with your artist. This is about the partnership with another organization. And that is actually the last sample or the last section of the application. So then I'm going to just show you up here or down here rather in this lower left-hand side of the screen, you'll see your progress bar. This will turn red the more of these tasks you complete, and then you'll have the option to hit submit. One fun thing with SurveyMonkey Apply is depending on who you have listed in your account as your primary account holder, you may not see a submit button. This is entirely dependent on the roles that you've selected in the backend on your account. If that is the case, you'll actually need to readjust those roles because I can't actually do them on the backend. They keep a lot of that for y'all. So this has been a question we've gotten a lot in the last couple of cycles. People can't find the submit buttons, and it's always something about the roles they've been assigned in the backend. So that's the full walkthrough. And then once you hit submit, it just goes into our side and what we and our side means sending it to the jurors.
Mhm.
So I can stop sharing unless, I guess, if there's questions that, if you want to see any other parts of the application again, if anybody has a specific request for that, I can go back to it. But given that you've all done Catalyst applications, this should be pretty familiar at this point, the system at least. Cool. And I will turn this back over to Morgana.
Thank you, Anne. And just reiterating that you can find information on, you'll find this recording, the guidelines are already up on the New Works Fund site, past recipients. I think we might be holding in August open office hours. We'll keep you updated, just if you need to do a check-in or have any questions, we're always available. So feel free to email me if you just want any clarity or just want to make sure with anything as it pertains to guidelines, criteria, or mapping out online, all of that. We're here to assist. Any questions from the collective? Okay, friends. Well, we will see you in these oh, hello, yes. Hear about how you all measure significant revisions for the rework revise stage. And do you have examples for past?
I don't, not specifically. I mean, you talked really well about it earlier, I think, in that the work should have already been performed in what you thought was its final stage, right? And then this is the artist coming back to say, this really needs to be reimagined, or, this is another area where we've had some conversations around different types of performing arts or performance art, not necessarily performing arts, but around the idea that different works take different shapes for different audiences, right? Like the nature of the work is based on the audience, right? So this is an opportunity where if your work really changes because it's going to be presented in North Texas, and it wasn't before, something like that, then that's a revision that I think would be eligible for that stage. But significant, we don't have a real clear metric for that, because it's really it's on how you see it as significant more than what our vision of significant is.
And it might be, I'll just use word tree since I'm talking to Arts Mission. So if, for instance, you all created a version of the script that was specifically for the Arts Mission space, but you had to rework any aspect of the script or visuals or music or, different performance set because y'all decided to tour it across North Texas, that might be a significant rework, revision. So, or if you needed to, all of that, whether it's changing in script, music, visuals, artist dynamic, venue dynamic, then there might be a rework. As Anne mentioned, we don't have that specific metric, but everyone feel free to speak with us and we can kind of break down what that may look like if you're bringing in a previous work. Oh, yes. So, making sure that all of the friends hopefully will apply if you hadn't already. We have a poll that we'd like you all to complete. And Kristen, we have that information also in the guidelines. But we could have a more nuanced conversation in regards to BIPOC, Alana, and other intersectional identifiers if you'd like.
Oh, I think you have to launch.
Okay.
You should find it at the bottom.
So I'm going to provide a poll, friends, if I can find it. There we are. No, I cannot.
Weird. Okay.
Would it be? Let me see if this one.
Let me see if I can reclaim a host. Okay. Maybe I'll see it. Here it is. Okay.
Great. So we would love to know who all intends to apply to the TACA New Works Fund, as well as what artistic genre discipline that you identify with for your organization and piece.
We've got 7 answers now, so
Yay.
8, great, 9. Ooh, everybody's quick. Excellent, I think that's everybody. Great. All right, I've got 11 responses, so I think we're good. Awesome. That's really helpful for us. Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Any further questions? And anything that I hadn't answered here, I can definitely answer offline, and we can talk a bit more. All right. Well, thank you all. I appreciate you all for attending. Feel free to reach out to me. Make sure that you revisit the guidelines and check out any information online. But bring your specific questions just to make sure you feel comfortable and confident in your application, and we'll talk more later. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll
Bye-bye.
post this online too. So I put that.